Back with another facts breakdown. I want to say thank you to all of you guys who watched my Loaded Lux video breakdown. 12,000 on TikTok, 11,000 on YouTube, 40,000 on Twitter. I appreciate it. That means you guys love this stuff. But today's question is with my man, Loso. So he says, hey, Mickey, in this clip, King Lo says, anything less than a multi in the eyes of a true MC is basic. My question is, how is K-Dot, who is widely regarded as the best rapper of this generation, able to constantly not utilize a multi and it not be considered basic? Okay, so before we even get into that, we need to watch what King Lo says so we can hear what he said, and then I can give my opinion. So here it is right here. Here's what King Lo's had to say.
I'm jumping out the whip and I'm dumping out the clip. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I hop out, I don't want to hear nothing out your lip. You know, if you stunting out, I trip. It's like that's a multi when you do multiple syllable compounds and you have them structured like that. When I'm teaching people how to rap, or if I'm teaching people the elements of rhyme schemes or whatever, that's the first thing that I try to introduce to them is the multi. Because anything less than a multi is, to me, in the eyes of a true MC, is basic.
So first and foremost, shout out to King Los. That's his opinion, and also he's speaking from an MC standpoint, not from a fan, listener, basic level standpoint, okay? Like, that is where he is coming from with his standpoint. So when Los asks this question, Loso, when he asks this question, he's asking why is he regarded as that, and I'm guessing it's throughout fans and lyricists alike. But there are some lyricists who do feel like what Los is talking about. But before we even get into that, I just want to preface that this is not a Kendrick slander video. Everybody who knows me knows I've known this brother for 15 years. He follows me on Twitter. I got his phone number. I've been on 2 records with him. I've done breakdowns on his verses. I've taught classes on him. I've done a review on his album To Pimp a Butterfly, top 3 catalog in hip hop history, top 5 rapper, artist in the space of hip hop. I have, I think he's one of the best storytellers, great concepts. He layers his concepts extremely well. Great flows, delivery, tonality, pocket presence, all of these things he's ranked very high. But over the course of time, right, there's been a gradual growth and I'm guessing conscious mindset to not use the multis that King Los is speaking on. Now, that multi that King Lo said in that example, that was a 5-syllable multi, right? And I don't subscribe to you have to have 4, 5, 6-syllable multis on your songs, on your records. Freestyles, battles, sure. But like on songs, 2-syllable multi foundationally works very well. And Kendrick, from the beginning of his career all the way up to now, has just been free-flowing with whatever it is. I mean, early on, and we're going to go over his writing. We're going to start from Overly Dedicated all the way up into GNX, and we can see exactly what he's been doing from that standpoint, okay? But we're gonna break down like his syllable count. Now, again, for me, I am not that guy. Like, I like 2 syllables, bare minimum, right? There's some 1-syllable people that do it, and it's cool, but I like it. I like to be able to hear you rhyme, like at that particular level. So we're going to start at Overly Dedicated, right? Night of the Living Zombies, right? When you see this, curl up like Big Worm when I drop. That's the focal point. Who fly? I'm a red eye. When I drops, I big, I Pac, you Chris, I rock. That's Pookie on New Jack head first with a Cyclops, right? 2-syllable multi. He's good. That's it. We good to go. I'm the one to do that. Bet you never knew that. Tailbone, tail on. It's all good. Higher learning, fire burning. As you can see, he is doing his multi-game at a very high rate. He's in the underground working from that space. So he's shooting at a 90 to 95% clip in terms of multis. Now, this is just from a writing standpoint. And I know fans like to talk about content and things of that nature. We're just showing you the syllable count from a multi standpoint, right? Now, I'm not saying high multi count. I'm just saying from a 2-syllable multi, bare minimum. Now, this is him on High Power, right? I'm just giving examples. This is him on High Power on Section 80, right? Which is a Martin Luther staring at me. If I see it how we seen it, that would make my parents happy, right? That's a 4-syllable multi. Sorry, mama, I can't turn the other cheek. They want to knock me off the edge like a fucking widow's peak, right? So widow's peak and other's cheek, depending on how he said it, that's a 3-syllable multi, right? And he's doing that for the duration. Pray for the week, prayed in some weeks, right? That all works. All of that works. Working hard, all of his jobs, that's a 1-syllable work multi, right? And if you look, dear Lord, come save me, the devil's working hard. He's probably clocking double shifts on all of his jobs, right? Frightening, so fucking frightening. Enough to drive a man insane. I need a license to kill, landmines, blow up in time. These are all 1-syllables. So he does it from time to time. Like he's bouncing back and forth between it. Now on Mad City, right? This is on one of my favorite songs on this particular album, right? He's telling a story. So the content is always going to lead when Kendrick is taking his talents into the beat, right? And right here, right, you see high school grad, white car crash, 3-syllable multi. It's slant, but it still works. But mama's pad doesn't really work like that. Foot in dash doesn't really work. That's like a 1 silly. But then believed him. My pop said I needed a job. I thought I believed him. Security guard for a month and ended up leaving, right? Job and needed a job, security guard. That all works. Those are shadow boxes, right? So he's internally rhyming as he grows into who he is as an MC and as an artist. And he does this throughout the entire project. Smoke Now, Foaming at the Mouth, which is a syllable stack. He goes from a 2-syllable to a 6-syllable. Now here on Mama, right? This is it. First of all, this is one of his most high count multi-verses that he has. This feeling is unmatched. Feeling is brought to you by adrenaline and good rap, but penitent ball cap, West. We don't share the same synonym, fall back, right? So he does this throughout the entire verse. This is one of his most highest multi-count verses, right? But again, it is not so succinct as what King Los is talking about, right? Jumping out the whip, nutting out your lip. He's not doing that. He's incorporating his delivery, his cadence, his flow to accentuate what he is trying to get across on this particular project. And he starts at the beginning and it ends all the way down to magic as he syllable stacks from good rap all the way down to magic. He adds it on halfway through this particular verse. I've broken this down many times. Now this is feel right here, right? Now when we look at feel, I personally believe in the project Damn. Right? He heard all of the naysayers saying he can't make hit records. So he simplified a lot of his content and it's one of his most successful projects, right? Outside of GNX that just dropped. Been out of my pocket, tap in a pocket. So pocket and pocket is, and stop it. That's a 2-syllable multi. He's fine. I'm good with that. Peasants, desperate, 2-syllable. It's good. Good bread. Feel like, real mic, good. Now, obviously, we know the content is there. We're specifically talking about the multi because that's what the question is about. Presence, lessons, fine. Music, though, mutual, you should know, right? Great. 3-syllable multi. No hope, bad dope. That is a 1-syllable. Plus that soap bar right there, that's a bar as well, too. 1-syllable. Like, so he's not shooting 90% anymore. He dialed it back on these projects to shoot 65%, right? Now, this is Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, one of my favorite records, Father Time, right? Rarely emphasize, actually, we'll start here. Daddy Issues, Hit My Emotions, Never Express Myself, right? And then Never Helped, right? That also works as a 3-syllable multi, right? Express myself, never help, right? Hit my emotions, never express myself. Men should never show feelings. Being sensitive never help. His mama died. I asked him why he going back to work so soon. Silver spoon. His first reply was, son, that's life, right? So he's multi in between, right? The internals of the shadow box, right? Why, reply, life. Fuck everybody. Go get your money, son. Protect yourself. Trust nobody. Nobody, everybody, right? Mama and them. This made relationships seem cloudy, never attached to them. Cloudy, nobody, everybody. So he's doing shadow boxing, right? And then he obviously on broccoli, right? All of that 2-syllable multi, that's on his first single. So he can do it. He just chooses not to do it, right? Does that take away from him being a top tier lyricist? Absolutely not. It's kind of like the sliders, right? When actually, no, we look at it like Jordan. Jordan used to dunk on everybody. He used to go to the lane, do all these fancy layups, dunk on everybody now. And then later on in his career, he just shot fadeaways. Kendrick is looking at it from this standpoint of, I don't have to do all of this high level technique stuff to get my point across. I can keep my syllable multi-count down to 2. And sometimes 1, if I do a 1, I'm going to have some shadow boxing in between, add some color with alliteration and other literary devices that he adds into his particular art pieces. Now, for me as an MC, when I think about the top 5 MCs that we have out, right, we got Jay, Nas, all time, dead or alive, Jay, Nas, Biggie, Pac, Eminem, whoever else you want to name, DMX, Prodigy. All of these people were at least doing a 2-syllable at a higher rate, at 80%, 90%. This is the first time where someone who I rank that high keeps his multi-count not at that high clip, 80% and above, 85% and above. He's doing other things to offset that, right? And I think that King Losa's standpoint is coming from an MC standpoint. There are MCs in the space of the underground who focus a lot more on technique. They focus a lot on the rhyme patterns. They want to impress other MCs. They want to impress fans who love that style of writing. Kendrick is not in the business of impressing us as MCs anymore, or the fans of that style anymore. The average person can't even compute a lot of the things that I'm saying. The people that follow me do, and some of the people that may come across it that love that do. But the mass majority care about the content, the storytelling, how the song makes them feel, how it gets them through the day. That impacts them more than the technique. And he's figured out a way to combine technique, some technique, and most content, most storytelling, most song. The song is the most important part for him. And it should be that way for all of us as lyricists and MCs. And as a songwriter, as a co-writer, as a songwriter, as a ghostwriter, I've done all of that, right? I can do that. I only save my high lyrical skill set for one record on the album, freestyles, battles, ciphers. I don't really do that stuff in my music, and it's important not to. You want people to resonate with what it is that you do as an MC. So, in closing, I regard him as a high top tier MC. He's not in my top 5 lyricists because I do feel like foundationally there are people that technique wise are just doing more. But what I will say is that he is still supremely ranked high as an MC because of the content and his accolades that he's able to accomplish in a very short amount of time, and how he's able to convey his thoughts. And I think that shouldn't be negated because he's not doing a 7-syllable multi for over 10 to 12 bars, or he's worried about what he's actually trying to say. Now, I do feel like there are guys who can do that, right? You got a Cambada or you got a Lux, who can dumb down their content just enough for you to grasp it, and it's still dense lyrically. But again, the entire world is not at that high intelligent level to grasp that technique portion of it. So yeah, that's my assessment on that question. I hope that answered your question, Loso. I hope I was not offending anybody. Let's have a discussion about it. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Where are we at with this? Where do you rank Kendrick Lamar? I got him, again, top 5. You know what I mean? In my personal list. That's just me. But where do you rank him? Let me know below. And my next breakdown will be Killer Cam. Shout out to Cam. Shout out to Dipset. Shout out to It Is What It Is. Mace, what up? That is my next breakdown. That'll probably be out sometime next week. All right. Long live lyricism.